Parents, family, friends, faculty, staff, alums, members of the Board of Trustees, and of course, welcome graduates to the commencement of the Post Oak Schools class of 2019. These 20 outstanding individuals have shared themselves with us for many months, many years, and for some of them, their entire childhood. My friends on the stage, in your green caps and gowns, you are not the only ones that we celebrate today. Yes, you got here through your own hard work, commitment, and resilience, and by getting up more times than you fell, but you got here with a lot of help. In this room, we have the amazing teachers who guided you along the way, and I just want to take a moment to recognize all of them. So I'm going to ask the teachers who have worked with these students on the stage, whether that was in the last 4 years or the last 17 years, if you can, would you please just stand for a moment so we can recognize you? You got even more help from your parents, who, among the countless things they've done for you, found their way to Post Oak and said, yep, this is the place. You are here because your parents made a decision. They decided that Post Oak was a place for part of your life's journey. They decided it was a worthy and important stop on your way to adulthood. So will you join me in showing our appreciation for your parents? Your parents gave you the gift of being here, the gift of a post-oak education, but they gave post-oak a far bigger gift by sharing you with us. Our school is enriched by your presence. Our school grows from the spirit and the energy that each of you has contributed. You leave a legacy of strength, hope, faith, joy, intelligence, and love. You leave a model of work, service, compassion, and generosity for the future generations of post-oak students. Today, we celebrate your accomplishments, your contributions to the community, and the various paths that lie before you, and we send you into the world capable of saving humanity. Now, that might sound heavy or impossible, but it's true. And you've shown us that. Dr. Maria Montessori said that an education capable of saving humanity is no small undertaking. It involves the spiritual development of a human being, the enhancement of his or her value as an individual, and the preparation of young people to understand the times in which they live. These words of Montessori ring in our ears today as we look at you. She saw the potential of the child as our most powerful asset for creating a better world. This was one of her goals for education, and each year as head of school, I need to reflect on this. With each graduating class, I need to ask, are you ready? Oh, they're ready. They're so ready that I must say this. Be gentle, class of 2019. The world is not quite ready for you. And just how powerful and motivated you are to make an impact. Congratulations. It's time for your post-oak journey to end and for us to share you with everyone else.
Hold on to me as we go, as we roll down this unfamiliar road. And although this wave is stringing us along, just know you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna make this place your home. Settle down, it'll all be clear. Don't pay no mind to the demons, they fill you with fear. The trouble that might drag you down, you will get lost, you can always be found. Know you're not alone.
This is our largest class ever at the Post Oak School. I said that last year also. We have enjoyed the energy from this group as they have grown up with us over the last 4 years. They are amazing. Tommy and Karen are finishing just their second year at Post Oak. Joseph, Franz, and Asa have been causing trouble at Post Oak for 15 years. Andrew Liu is finishing his 17th year at the Post Oak School. Andrew, with his parents, Tom and Michelle, came to the Post Oak School in 2002. In that same year, Blockbuster video stores made $5.5 billion. And Netflix had an IPO at $15 a share. It's up 31,000% since then. Graduates, looking ahead for you, my hope is that you choose to continue to authentically engage as you have done in your years at Post Oak. As I told you Wednesday night after the campfire, I have no doubt that you will do amazing things. Which amazing things you will do, well, that's up to each of you. It may not be clear just yet what meaning your years at Post Oak will have for you. How you build on them is your path to make. And perhaps, in the words of Eleanor Roosevelt, you must do the thing that you think you cannot do. Some people you meet in the next couple years might not quickly understand your Post Oak school experience. And your efforts to explain may be lost on them. Asa might hear, wait, what? You designed and taught your own economics class in high school? Claire Thompson might hear, wait, what? Your school sent you to Jamaica to do archaeology? Nathan Rice might hear, so you're the guy who fixes the 3D printers at the Science Museum? And someone will undoubtedly say to Cassandra, you drew that? I thought it was a printout from the computer. And at each turn, you will continue to show everyone that you are truly extra. These students are amazing, and their parents are amazing as well. Behind every graduate is an incredible family. Parents, siblings, aunts and uncles, those who have given, who have loved, who have cried, who have hugged, and who have kept on loving. As I remind each of us this year, at this moment that these graduates get their diploma, they will have spent just 10% of their life at school. The rest has been with their families. This moment when the son or daughter completes high school, it's a big moment. It's the result of a path that began 18 years ago with thousands of diaper changes, sleepless nights, and wondering how the parents would get through it. Parents, we know this path. We know it takes bravery to be a Montessori parent, to put in the extra time, to encourage critical thinking, even if it might come back and bite you later, and to keep in your mind an image of the confident and capable young adult who you will drop off at university many years down the road. Now that drop-off is no longer years away, it is just weeks. And the confidence that you were hoping for, no doubt, has materialized and perhaps has even outgrown your home. It is time to launch. To celebrate this transition, we have a gift for each graduate. It is a pen. With a pen at hand, the back of any receipt or paper napkin could be the start of a book, or a design, an equation, or an idea. The pen in your hand has great significance. Maria Montessori wrote that the hand is an instrument of a person's intelligence. The hand is used to express thoughts, emotion, and intellect. She said that we build ourselves through the work of our hands. The pen we give you is a tool for anything your mind can conjure. Writing poems, solving equations, sketching buildings, making art, outlining speeches, or more. Montessori said the work of the hand is in direct connection with a person's soul. We hope that you use this pen to express from inside you your best work in whatever form that may be. And finally, a reflection on what is it to be a Montessori alum. You're a Post Oak alum, and you're also a Montessori alum. You've learned how to take joy in continuing to learn. You are curious. You have had relationships with teachers that open doors, hearts, and minds, and that fundamentally shape your worldview. You know your strengths and weaknesses, and you see the world differently than other people see it. Your education is not focused on getting by or getting through. You've looked at the whys of things. You've befriended a diverse group of people. You can see commonality where others try to divide. You ask yourself, how can I solve this? Or how could I make this better? You don't run away from conflicts. You believe in the people around you. You trust by default. You're an optimist. You're hopeful. You think critically and ask hard questions. You reach out, you clean up, you stay late, you raise your hand, you have multiple passions and interests. You're a Montessori kid. You know the value of pausing to ask what went well and what can I do better? And who do I need to thank and recognize who has helped me? You work well with others. You're adaptable. And you know the group's needs can often come before your own. You see greatness in others and hold on to that vision. You believe. You can manage yourself. You can guide others. You are enchanting. You are engaging. And you don't suffer anyone who says you can't do it. You are ready to save the world. You are ready. And we can't wait to see what you're going to do next.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I would like to congratulate our class of 2019 on their graduation. Our community is proud of your achievements and looks forward to your contributions to your colleges. I'm here to introduce your commencement speaker. Before I do so, I wanted to reflect on two ideas. I've had the privilege of getting to know a few of you in the economics seminar where I volunteered last academic year. And as I would have expected, from graduates from the postdoc school, I found that you had developed a love of learning and that you had mastered critical thinking, independence, compassion, and creativity. And all that in economics class, that's not an easy thing to do, right? I know that none of the skills were included in the transcripts that universities use to judge your accomplishments. However, these are the skills that power human intelligence. You have learned to cultivate more than academic outcomes, and that is a lesson that will allow you to develop wholly as a human being. Every January, we host an alumni night at the school, and I hope that you will come every year as well to participate. And every year, I'm amazed by the remarkable character and maturity of our students, or of our graduates. And as you will join the workforce in the coming years, competing against robots, something that my generation did not have to worry about, I'm sure you will find that your mastery of these non-traditional academic skills will have made a huge difference in your progress as professionals. Now, we at Post Oak are not the only ones that believe that Montessori education is a powerful tool in life. A few years ago, a Wall Street journalist wrote an article with the title, "The Montessori Mafia." In it, he found that many of the new economy most iconic entrepreneurs had one thing in common, that they had gone to Montessori schools at some point in their lives. The so-called mafia includes Google's co-founders Larry Page and Sergey Brin, as well as Jeff Bezos. Last November, Mr. and Mrs. Bezos announced that they were endowing the Bezos Day One Fund with a $2 billion donation. And one of the two goals of this fund is to operate a network of high-quality, full scholarship Montessori preschools in underserved communities. Now, some of you may know that Bezos was born to a Texan family and lived in Houston during part of his childhood. He's known to have graduated from River Oaks Elementary, but his biography does not mention which Montessori school he might have attended. So last year, in the most inquisitive Montessori spirit, we decided to find out if he was a postdoc alum. No, the odds were high because our little house, which is the name of the school in the mid-60s, could have been his kindergarten alma mater. But there are no records from that time. So I don't want to keep the suspense much longer here and keep you wondering about the end of the story. So I'll keep it short. We wrote to him, and eventually he responded, which was a long period, he responded that he had gone to Montessori school in Albuquerque. I'm sharing this story not to pressure you, but to remind you that you, as Montessori alumni, are already in great company. So now on to the introduction to your commencement speaker. You are in for a treat, by the way. Alison Wong, I've heard speak before. She was our POPA chair for a total of 4 years, and she spoke at one of our POPA dinners. So one plug-in for those friends that still in the community, I would make sure you all come to our POPA dinner every year, and you get some great speakers. Anyhow, Alison was born and raised in Houston, and what's really special about her as we graduate our 4th high school class is that she's a graduate of our school at a time when there was no high school. She went through lower and upper elementary, then went to St. John's, graduated from Southwestern University in psychology and sociology, and has a law degree from University of Texas at Austin. She's an attorney. You won't sure hold that against her after you hear her talk. And she has been, we've been fortunate to have her be part of our board of trustees since 2016. So with that, let me welcome to the stage our commencement speaker, Alison Wong.
Recovering attorney, former attorney, not current attorney. This is so exciting. All right, as Manolo said, I wear many hats here at the Post Oak School. I joined this community when I was 5, and now I am 44 and a half. When I was a student, people had no idea what Post Oak was, or even what Montessori was. Back then, I would tell people I didn't go to a regular school, I went to a Montessori school. And they would say, oh, what do you do at a Montessori school? And I would say, I work with beads, sandpaper letters, wood polishing, table scrubbing, you know, the usual. And they would always say, oh, that sounds really special. Is it a special school? And I would say, yes, totally special. Actually, not much has changed in our house when it comes to how 5-year-olds describe their work at Post Oak. I remember someone once asking my son, Gray, what do you do when you're at school? And he, with the sweetest smile on his face, proudly said, nothing. Great. But although not much has changed about how we describe our work, a lot has changed about how our work is viewed by others. As an adult, when I first told my own friends that my children were enrolling in the Post Oak School, I didn't get, huh. I got, wow. And that's because it turns out that in the time that elapsed between when I was a Post Oak student and when I became a Post Oak parent, the rest of the world figured out that what we've been doing here for the last several decades is good, important, and yes, special. The Post Oak High School, though, that's a different story. You, the class of 2019, are our 4th graduating class. When your parents told their friends that you had chosen the Post Oak High School, I know that at least some of them got, oh, huh. Just like my mom did in the 70s when she told people I was going to a Montessori school. My mom is here tonight, by the way. So I guess she's getting the last laugh. Anyway, what I'm working toward with this trip down memory lane is that eventually, if and when I tell my people that my kids are going to the Post Oak High School, I know that I'll get a wow, and that's because of you. It's because, as Maura said, 4 years ago, you and your families made a courageous decision that to some may have even felt a little experimental. You made the choice to come to the brand new Post Oak High School, and that was a risk because back then, many of the metrics by which people measure the success of a high school, test scores, college acceptances, even word of mouth recommendations, they just were not available. And from the outside looking in, it seemed like a complete unknown. Sorry, James. As such, there were probably people in your life who didn't understand your choice, but you made it anyway. And now in just a few short years, the Post Oak High School is a well-known, well-respected brand. A Post Oak High School education means something. You made that possible with your courage and with your hard work. But while you were here, I'm sure it wasn't like all rainbows and unicorns. I'm sure many of you stumbled along the way, individually and as a community. You all faced challenges, but you kept going. And look where it brought you, to the threshold of the rest of your life. You are standing on the doorstep, and from here on out, wherever you go is completely up to you. Right now, you are so full of potential. That's a powerful thing, right? But it's also kind of fraught. Like, what are you going to do with all of this potential? What if you have no idea? What if you waste it? Potential on its own is amazing, but you rarely get to enjoy it without also having to deal with its frenemy, expectation. Yours and others. It's hard to avoid other people's expectations, especially when you have so much potential, as you all do. And especially when everyone just wants the best for you. I mean, they just want you to make it safely from the ocean to the breeding ground, build a nest, have a baby, and then get back to the ocean. Let me back up. About a month ago, I had the privilege of going along on a field trip with the entire Post Oak Lower Elementary. We went to see a Disney nature film about penguins entitled Penguins. There's going to be some spoilers here. Does anybody want to leave before I talk about the penguin? Okay. So this movie is about this penguin, Steve. Steve is a penguin on the cusp of adulthood. He is standing on the threshold of the rest of his life. And to complete his transition to adult penguinhood, Steve must embark on a journey to the penguin breeding grounds, make a nest of rocks, and find a mate. Okay, that's a lot, and he's a brand new adult, but this is fine. It's fine, because there's a huge group of other penguins. They've done this a million times, and he can just follow them. Simple, right? No, not simple. First of all, Steve gets a late start. I don't know why. He just doesn't leave. He just gets a late start. Second, he walks really slowly, and he goes the wrong way a lot. In fact, it kind of looks like he's just wandering around aimlessly out there. He gets mixed up with a pack of emperor penguins, and he's an Adelie penguin. And as I'm watching this, I am starting to get super agitated, annoyed even. Why didn't he just leave sooner? Why doesn't he walk faster? Can penguins not run? What the heck is he doing over there? At one point, I am almost beside myself because while Steve has been dilly-dallying, the entire colony has moved on without him. Just gone. He's alone out there. And when he almost gets eaten by a leopard seal, that's the spoiler. That's the final straw. I start looking around the theater. I'm trying to make eye contact with another mom to be like, really? But while I'm having my meltdown, Steve is walking. Slowly, so slowly. But he is walking, and eventually, he makes it. And when he does, the entire theater full of 6, 7, 8, and 9-year-olds goes completely nuts. They clap, they're cheering, they're hugging, they're crying with relief. It is the most joyful sound I have ever heard. And it made me realize that while I was busy questioning Steve's life choices, they were simply rooting for him. They were on this odd, circuitous, very messy path with Steve. And you know what? Not only did Steve make it, he arrived knowing what the far side of that iceberg looks like. He arrived having made some new emperor penguin friends. And he arrived knowing how to avoid being eaten by a snow leopard. No, leopard seal. That's what it is. Snow leopard would have been wrong. You play dead. You play dead. If there's a leopard seal, you play dead. Hold your breath. Play dead. These are all valuable life experiences that the other Adelie penguins didn't have. So yes, I was judging how Steve the penguined, and I'm not even a penguin, but that didn't stop me from having some very strong opinions. It just did not look the way I expected it to look, and that made me uncomfortable. My judgment, my strong opinions, my agitation, they were all from a place of love. I wanted him to make it, but I couldn't see past my own expectations. I told you that story because, well, when I consulted the Universal Handbook governing commencement addresses in preparation for tonight, it said that I had to use a metaphor involving a journey. Also, I have to sum everything up in one short, memorable saying. So I have one. Are you ready? Yes? Okay. Once you walk out those doors tonight and into the rest of your lives, I hope that you can commit to setting intentions for yourself rather than expectations. That's good, right? Intentions versus expectations. Okay, great. What's the difference? Well, an intention is something that we want to do and plan to do. It's intrinsically motivated. An intention requires action on your part. You intend to do something. There is agency involved. An expectation is just a belief. It's a strong one, but it's just a belief that something will happen. Something will happen to you or for you. An expectation has, though, success or failure attached to it, depending on whether that expectation is realized. When we expect something, we've already created a specific image in our mind of the outcome. This is how it will be. This is how it will look, or even this is what will make me happy. We are expecting a specific result to unfold. An expectation seriously narrows down the available avenues for success because more often than not, any given outcome is going to depend on several factors, many of which we just don't control. So if we define success only by one expected result, we're going to feel disappointed and unfulfilled a lot of the time. But if we set our intention toward a goal without holding that outcome so tightly in our grasp, then we can focus on our efforts, on the process. Have you ever been told to commit to the journey and not the outcome? You should have been. Gosh. I'm telling you now. Commit to the journey and not the outcome. This is how you do that. All right. Set an intention. For example, if you maybe had an expectation that your parents would notice how hard you're working in school, and they would notice that you're pitching in at home a little more, and maybe you expected that they would give you, as a result of their spontaneous observation, extra freedom, you might be disappointed if they didn't just do that. Contrast that with if you do your work and you're pitching in at home with the intention of improving yourself, with the intention of making a contribution rather than the credit it will bring you, then you're in a really strong position to approach your parents and ask for extra freedom. Maybe this goes without saying, but it is so important for you to set your own intentions. Your intentions should not reflect other people's expectations. When we become disconnected from who we are and what we want, we're so focused on the outcome. When we get trapped in other people's expectations, it's not so hard to imagine how someone could end up pretending to row crew in order to get into USC. Too soon? I thought it was okay. All right, that's why you commit to the journey and not the outcome. Really, you might be thinking, I know my parents have given a lot to get me to this point, and I don't want to let them down. Maybe my friends seem to know what they're doing, but I'm not sure yet. I can't just say, I'm on a journey, but I have no destination. Sure you can. Why can't you? You can do that even if people go, huh, that's special. Okay, what if I do commit to the journey, but my destination turns out to be average? That literally cannot happen if you're setting intentions instead of outcomes. If you show up in your own lives every day, being present and setting your own intentions, then wherever you end up won't feel average to you. Plus this journey, it's like it doesn't stop. You just keep on going. So you're never gonna end up somewhere. And it may not look the way you thought it would look at the beginning, and that's okay. And it may not look the way other people thought it would look. That's okay too. And it's not just me who thinks that. You want to know how I know? Because the Post Oak community asked me to come and speak with you tonight. On paper, there's not a lot going on here. It's fine. I'm not famous, I'm not a 1%er, never run a marathon, no musical instruments. I drive a 2008 Toyota Prius. But if you know me in real life, you know I'm like amazing. I'm great. I'm really great. Thank you. I love my life. And it's not because I arrived at any particular destination or because I've lived up to anyone's expectations. It's because I just keep showing up every day, just trying to be a little better than I was the day before. I made a commitment to myself to just be me. And for better or worse, I am going to see this thing through. You have already had some experience with this. You came here and you saw it through. And in doing that, you've already made the world a better place for those who will come behind you. For those kids right there, my kids, 9 and 7. And you didn't do that because when you were 13 or 14, you woke up one day and said, I'm going to build a new high school for future generations today. You did it by making a choice for yourself and showing up every day. So many years from now, when I'm sitting in those seats and I'm watching them graduate, I'll be thanking you for blazing the trail. Tonight, I'm honored to help celebrate you and what you've already accomplished. So set an intention, not an expectation. Commit to the journey, not the outcome. I'm rooting for you, Post Oak High School class of 19. We all are. Because if Steve the Penguin can do it, so can you. Congratulations.
You guys. Hello, everyone. I'm James Quillen, Director of High School Curriculum and Instruction, and it is my privilege to present the recognition of awards to the class of 2019. If you would please hold your applause to the end. To Karen Chung goes the James Baldwin Award for Critical Thinking. To Nathan Commissariat goes the Frank Gehry Award for Architectural Achievement. To Angela de la Fuente Trujillo goes the Global Citizen Award. To Morgan Farley goes the True Grit Award. To Asa Foreman goes the Maria Montessori Award for Independence. To Tommy Johnson goes the John Locke Award for Civil Discourse. Humor is part of the civil discourse. Okay? We appreciate you. To Destiny Jones goes the Kimberly Crenshaw Award for Social Justice. To Claire Langenkamp goes the Open Hand Award for Diplomacy. To Andrew Liu goes the Adam Smith Award for Economic Insight. To Arjan Azad goes the award for engaged and passionate debate. To Daniel Mendoza goes the Character Award. To Kayla Merton Sato goes the Kindness Award. To North Odell goes the Out of the Box Thinking Award. To Franz Ohana goes the Alan Watts Award for Mindfulness. To Joseph Orr goes the International Mindedness Award. To Jordan Polychronopoulos goes the Patriotism Award. To Nathan Rice goes the Intellectual Curiosity Award. To Brandon Shin goes the Kevin Feig Award for Patient Visionary Filmmaking. To Claire Thompson goes the International Service Award. And to Cassandra Wilson goes the award for creative expression in the visual arts. Please give a well-deserved round of applause to the amazing class of 2019.
is Nathan's 4th year of playing at Commencement, and we're retiring his jersey just after the ceremony. A month ago, Dr. Quillen and I sat with the graduates, then seniors. We asked them to describe the qualities of a Post Oak alum. What do you think are the characteristics of someone who's graduated from the Post Oak School? This is their list. Creative, tough, curious, well-rounded, brave, free, time-conscious, passionate, welcoming, enthusiastic, community-oriented, a little bit odd, funny, confident, good-looking, caring, intelligent, collaborative, unique, open-minded, aware, dedicated, independent, determined, motivated, adaptable, honest, thoughtful, non-conforming, accepting, problem-solving, having a world perspective, non-judgmental, diverse, athletic, and understanding. Then I asked the seniors to nominate one of their classmates to represent them at their commencement. And the class chose Nathan Commissariat. Nathan came to Post Oak School after a little gentle urging from his aunt, Marani Smith, Post Oak's own Marani Smith. And when he came for his interview, his admission interview, afterward he noticed the piano in our commons, and he sat and he played a little bit just before he left. And then he left, and some of the then students, now alums, came directly over to me and said, "Who was that? You have to admit him." So we did. Please join me in welcoming Nathan Commissariat.
One second, please. Just a little bit of the feels, you know? Just a little bit. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the class of 2019, I would like to thank you all for coming to celebrate this momentous occasion in our lives. Numerous friends and family from Houston, Texas, to Canada, Florida, and even Hawaii have joined us to witness our graduation, and we can't thank you enough for it. The piano piece I played earlier was named Time Forgets, and is dedicated to this class of 2019 and the vast memories and experiences we shared throughout our time together. And as we come to the end of our journey at Post Oak, we can't help but look back and remember our memories and experiences and what brought us here to this stage. For starters, we recognize that most students around the country don't get to choose their high school. We did, and we chose Post Oak. The 20 of us here on this stage embarked upon a unique high school journey without realizing how such a small and unassuming high school would teach us so much and bestow upon us such a unique and truly unforgettable experience. From internships with numerous Houston area organizations to J&A terms in countries around the world, students had the ability to explore new interests and develop passions. We were able to delve deeply into subjects that interested us, and through our tight-knit community and exciting school events, we created powerful and lifelong friendships. Through these and countless other experiences together, we have readied ourselves for the next chapter of our lives. College. Many of the activities, events, and experiences that we enjoyed at Post Oak were a result of the work of our alumni. The previous graduating classes laid the foundation for our success, enabling us to participate in amazing experiences throughout our time at the high school, and I think it goes without saying that we all tremendously appreciate it. Now, this same standard is upheld by our very own graduating class, with many of us creating our own J&A terms, clubs, and events. Each and every one of you has been passionate about this community, whether it be through clubs like AUM, leading our Bearcat sports teams to state championships, or other events such as prom and Quadfest. We have taken advantage of unbelievable opportunities, going on life-changing trips to other countries, which have not only taught us firsthand about various communities' historical, political, and economic situations, but have also aided in the development of our global perspective. Here at Post Oak, we have taken an opportunity to learn under amazing teaching faculty and staff. Teachers dedicated and invested so much of their time and energy to ensure we grasped concepts, fully understood the significance of topics, and most importantly, how it applied to real-life situations. To them, each and every one of us are special and unique individuals, and we know that they truly care about each and every one of our passions and our successes. We cannot thank our faculty and staff enough for all that you have done to bring us to this point. Consistently, one of the best aspects of our school, from the perspective of the graduating class, is the Post Oak community. From classroom seminars and projects, Odyssey and retreats, and of course, community meetings, it is evident that this is a tremendous highlight of our school experience and something we will always remember. Throughout the years, we bonded with each other and created lasting, unforgettable memories. Our community consists of diverse and unique people that are incredibly passionate and devoted to their interests. Composed of friends, teachers, parents, and staff, everyone in this community motivated us to do incredible things and accomplish amazing feats. Collectively, these members of our school community have supported us during times of great loss and sadness, laughed with us during the many fun-filled community events, advised us when we were not sure which paths to pursue, and motivated us from the very beginning. We have been given the freedom and encouragement to explore that which interests us the most, and the best each of us could be. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you, Post Oak community. Outside of the school, each of us has important people who have played a significant role in bringing us to this point in our lives. So many members of our extended family have poured their love and support to us throughout the years. Our friends and neighbors, many of you who sit in the audience today, we consider you family and can't thank you enough for your love, your support, and the time you have spent helping us work on various projects. Your belief in us and your genuine joy for our success from our toddler days to adulthood is much appreciated. Most of all, however, I wish to thank our parents. Your love for us is unmatched. Thank you for all your love, support, and sacrifices. Words cannot express our gratitude for our parents. Love you, Mom and Dad. See, that wasn't in the script, so they had no idea that was coming. Through the 2, 4, 10, or even 17 years that we have spent at Post Oak, we have made friends, learned new things, and had numerous upon numerous amazing and fun experiences. Now it is time to embark on the next chapter of our lives. All of us graduates have made new choices and have developed a plan. And although we may not know all the details and intricacies just yet, we have envisioned a path for our future journeys and many years of excitement. However, if we ever feel even a little bit concerned or overwhelmed, let us remember where we came from. Let us remember that we were at one point Post Oak students who learned how to apply our knowledge to problem solve, learned how to make connections both academically and socially. And above all, we knew that true happiness and contentment is not achieved by being better than everyone else, but rather by being the best that we can be. So with the greatest joy and pride, I'm happy to say that we, the Post Oak High School class of 2019, we are ready. We are ready for the next big chapter in our lives. Congratulations, class of 2019, and thank you.
Karen Ning Chang. Nathan Shaki Commissariat. Ángela de la Fuente Trujillo. Morgan Kate Farley. Asa Nance Foreman. Thomas Morgan Johnson, Jr. Destiny Denise Jones. Claire Eleanor Langenkamp. Andrew James Liu. Arjang Azad. Daniel Eddie Mendoza. Kayla Hikari Mertensado. Franz Joseph Ohana. Peter North McDonald Odell. Joseph Robert Orr. Jordan Andrew Polychronopoulos. Nathan Culpepper Rice. Brandon Keon Shin. Claire Elizabeth Thompson. Cassandra Ming Wilson.
I am pleased and honored to present to you the Post Oak School Class of 2019.